Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we look at a 75-degree air temperature, dew point value exactly the same. So that gives us 100% relative humidity. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch the humidity sink as the temperature falls, but still it will be a very sticky afternoon. So it feels like temperature today, again, probably exceeding 100. I hate to sound like a broken record, but the timing of the storms today is probably identical to yesterday. Again, a few of the storms could produce some very heavy rainfall and gusty winds. We'll get through the morning hours without much of a problem. In the afternoon, not much of a problem until we get till about late afternoon. Then again, like yesterday and the day before, showers and thunderstorms will build in a typical summertime Florida fashion. About a 60% chance of storms a little bit later on today. Severe Storm Prediction Center has not identified our area as being in a risk for severe weather, but as we all know, with thunderstorms growing and with the potential of some strong storms around, any of them could get pretty rough as we head into the afternoon with torrential downpours of rain. And while there's probably not going to be much in the way of a hail risk today, there probably will be some gusty winds associated with some of these storms and their downdrafts. By 7 p.m., we'll watch that rain chance kind of start to diminish pretty quickly as the storms exit out into Gulf waters and everything kind of settles down with the heating of the day and the thunderstorms lay down a stable layer of air at the surface. So quiet right now on radar. You can see the general easterly wind flow evident on the radar echoes over on the Atlantic coastline. But right now, everything's very quiet. Those storms will be crossing the peninsula into our area as we head into the afternoon, thanks to that easterly wind flow around an area of high pressure anchored to our north. And there's no reason to think that that high pressure ridge is going anywhere for the next several days anyway. Possibly even 5 to 10 days from now, we'll be watching an area of high pressure sitting right there. Climatologically, that's what you'd expect. As we head into the afternoon, daytime heating will provide us with a sea breeze building, and that sea breeze combined with our easterly wind flow will crash along the center part of the state, producing those thunderstorms that drift toward our coast where they really do kind of explode once they meet up with our west coast sea breeze. We'll get some very heavy rainfall across the region. East wind pattern through the remainder of this week, into the weekend actually. West moving storms as we have seen for several days now, and then some of those storms producing some pretty gusty winds. Our future forecast shows a general easterly wind flow. Temperatures through the morning hours climbing up into the 80s pretty rapidly under the influence of plenty of sunshine. And then those showers and thunderstorms starting to build in inland areas first by about 1, 2, 3 o'clock. And then those storms drifting to the coast where they kind of explode. And this model picks up the fact that some of them could produce some heavy downpours and gusty winds as we head into drive time this evening. So we'll watch that and keep an idea that perhaps some of those storms could, again, aggravate some of the flooding conditions. You know, the parking lots at the Myakka State Park are closed because of flooding due to the river situation there. Quiet in the tropics right now, but in the long term, not necessarily the case. An area off the coast of Africa is a prime location for tropical development over the course of the next several days. Down around 5 days from now, there's a 30% chance of development. Even if it did develop, chances are it would drift out into the open Atlantic and not bother anyone. Another computer model shows that an area of disturbed weather now moving into, well, closer to the Caribbean anyway, has the potential for some development down the road, but that's only one computer model showing that. If it did develop, it would have the name Florence. So we'll be watching that. That'll be the next name up on the list. East wind coming in at about 10 knots. 2-foot seas, light chop on your bay and inland waters. And the forecast for the next 7 days calls for a 60% chance of showers today and tomorrow, followed by a little bit less rain chance on Friday, perhaps, as we have a little bit of drier air sneaking in. Then as we head into Saturday and Sunday, about a 60% chance of rainfall. Then as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week, we're going to be watching carefully to see if that little trough of low pressure that I talked to you about moving closer to the Caribbean might develop. If it does, it could bring some heavier rainfall to Florida.